It all kind of started with the book Crazy Love. You know, obviously God's been working in me for a while, but that's where it jumped off for sure. And, you know, as we went through the book, as we had our connections, our small group connections, a lot of people were talking about how they were finding like their purpose and like things that they were supposed to be doing. And I remember having dinner with a friend one night, and we had talked about how we really felt individually like God was speaking things into us, but we didn't know what it was. And we felt the nudging from God, but it was frustrating because we couldn't pinpoint like what it was that we were supposed to be doing, like what he was calling us to do. But we both agreed that there was something. And the very next day, we went to a simulcast put on by Beth Moore. And it's like God just spoke right into me exactly what I needed to know and what I needed to hear from him. And the whole simulcast was about Luke. And, you know, this guy that wrote Luke and wrote Acts, and never really thought about, you know, what the significance of that was before until that simulcast. And Beth is talking about how Luke isn't the only one who wrote these accounts of Jesus, but he is one of them. And in the beginning of that book where he starts writing about it, his reason is, it just seemed good to me. And that just blew my mind, because I thought, yeah, that's right. Here I am waiting for this big, huge thing that God's gonna like send to me, that this is my purpose, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, when really it's just about all these little things around me that just seem like the right thing to do, like just a good thing to do. And I think one of those is just relationships. Like, that's my hang up. I'm not really good at, you know, having good relationships with people and just like opening myself up. And I think that's just one of those things that God's calling me to do. At that simulcast, something else that was huge for me was about halfway through, Beth does, I guess, like an altar call. And she says, is there anybody here who really just wants to give their life to Christ today? And I thought, well, I've done that. You know, I mean, I've done that before. I know I'm saved. Like, I know all of that, but I couldn't tell you the day that happened. I could never tell you the day. And when people would talk about it, you know, and say, oh, when did you become saved? When did this happen? I never had that story. And that day, she says that, and I thought, well, I'd really like to do that, but I don't want people to think I haven't been before or something. It's just all these things that I'm doing in my head. And then she says, is there anybody here today who is saved, who Satan keeps saying you haven't been because you can't remember when it happened? Well, this is your day. This is the day you lay it down. And I lost it. That was my moment, and I'll never forget that day. September 10th, 2011, like, that was it. That was the last day that I will ever think that again. Like, and I think this is just one of those things, you know, my story is all about these events and these things. Well, that's part of it. It's me getting out of my own way, thinking that, you know, I have a hang up, because I don't. Like, God washed all that away, and he's equipped me with what I need for my purpose for him.